Hello, I'm Dr. Canessa Miller Doss, Associate Professor of Psychology at Troy University and Assistant Department Chair. Welcome. We're so excited to have you here today to hear our talk on global impact of self-care sustainability, building a healthier future. And I have with me today.
Hello, I'm Dr. Sherry Crawford, Associate Professor and Department Chair of Counseling, Rehabilitation, and Interpreter Training at Troy University.
In today's presentation, we'll delve into the powerful concept of self-care sustainability and its profound impact on both individual and global well-being. We'll explore the intricate link between self-care practices and environmental sustainability, highlighting how personal well-being contributes to a healthier planet. Our goal is to equip you with practical strategies for sustainable self-care that promotes mental health, minimize environmental impact, and cultivate a more balanced and resilient global community. So here are our learning objectives. Today, participants will be able to describe the connections between personal self-care practices and global environmental sustainability with emphasis on the impacts of mental health on environmental behavior. We'll also evaluate how individual wellness can influence community and global health outcomes. And finally, we'll examine community initiatives that use collective sustainable self-care to build resilience and promote global sustainability. Here, you can see that there are many, many words that relate to self-care. Life can be overwhelming and distressing. Prioritizing self-care can improve mental well-being, but I want us to think about it in the context of so much more than just the individual. That mental well-being can be looked at as pro-social coping skills. It can be looked at as deliberate mental resets, exercise, improve mood, but this also can be looked at in a global context where we're looking at the community or the global impact, how sustainability can be applied to our global environment too. The World Health Organization defines self-care as the ability of individuals, families, and communities to promote health, prevent disease, maintain health, and cope with illness and disability with or without support from a healthcare worker. Currently, 3.6 billion people, which is about half of the world's population, lack access to essential health services. And therefore, the World Health Organization recommends self-care interventions for every country and economic setting as a crucial path to achieving universal health coverage, promoting health, ensuring global safety, and serving vulnerable populations. So we're all in this together, understanding that self-care is complex and that can happen at the individual level, but also at the global level. So now we're going to look at the interconnectedness of self-care and sustainability. There exists a beautiful synergy between self-care and sustainability. Prioritizing our mental and emotional well-being translates to a heightened regard for the environment. When feeling stressed or burned out, we may tend to overlook eco-friendly habits or opt for convenience. I know I'm guilty over sustainability. Conversely, engaging in practices that nurture our mental health, such as immersing ourselves in nature or partaking in mindful activities, foster a profound sense of connection with the planet, inspiring us to make choices that upholds its well-being.
Now, let's speak a little bit about the cost of neglecting your self-care. Neglecting self-care can have far-reaching implications for mental health, environmental behavior, and overall well-being. Let's explore some of these consequences in detail. Specifically, mental health consequences. There's increased stress and anxiety. A lack of self-care can lead to chronic stress, which is a major contributor to anxiety disorders. And then there's depression. When individuals consistently prioritize others' needs over their own, it can lead to feelings of burnout, isolation, and depression. Impaired cognitive function, insufficient rest, and relaxation hinders concentration, memory, and problem-solving abilities. And then there's relationship strain. Neglecting self-care can lead to irritability, impatience, and decreased emotional availability, affecting relationships. Environmental consequences include increased consumption. To cope with stress, people might engage in impulsive buying or overconsumption, which contributes to waste and resource depletion. Reduced environmental awareness. When feeling overwhelmed by personal stress, individuals may have less capacity to focus on broader environmental issues. And then there's decreased engagement in eco-friendly actions. Self-care neglect can lead to reduced motivation for recycling, energy conservation, and sustainable choices. Let's take a quick look at the impact of overall well-being. Physical health issues are impacted when we neglect our self-care. Chronic stress from neglecting our self-care can weaken the immune system and lead to increased susceptibility to illnesses. Reduced productivity, there's a lack of energy, focus, and motivation. This can negatively impact our work or academic environment. Let's talk quickly about lower self-esteem. So when we're prioritizing our needs over others, we can enroll our own self-confidence and then leading to a decreased life satisfaction. A lack of balance between personal and external commitments can lead to feelings of emptiness and dissatisfaction. So now we're on to our first reflection. So by implementing changes to your current self-care, you can significantly reduce your environmental footprint while simultaneously enhancing your personal well-being, contributing to a healthier, more sustainable future. How do your current self-care practices align with sustainability? Can you identify specific changes you could make to reduce your environmental footprint while enhancing your personal well-being? Let's take about 15 seconds to think about that.
Mhm.
Okay. Here's some thoughts of physical health. These are some of the things that we can do to increase our physical health. Our exercise routine. You could work out at home using online fitness programs, which will reduce the need for commuting to the gym. Additionally, you could walk or bike short distances instead of driving. And then there's our diet. Consider buying organic and locally sourced produce whenever possible. Self-care practices for mental health includes mindfulness, ponder meditation, and mindfulness using apps, which doesn't require physical resource, and they also help us reduce stress. Outdoor activities can include spending time with nature, such as hiking, visiting parks. This allows you to connect to the environment and it promotes mental well-being. Thinking about the environmental impact, waste management. Conscious recycling will minimize waste by using reusable bags, bottles, containers. And then there's energy use. Consider ways to conserve energy, like energy efficient appliances, or try to conserve water by taking shorter showers. Specific changes to reduce the environmental footprint could include dietary adjustments, such as increased plant-based meals by reducing consumption of animal products and focusing more on vegetarian and vegan options. Sustainable product choices may include eco-friendly products, switching to biodegradable or reusable personal care products such as bamboo, toothbrushes, natural deodorants, and refillable containers. What do you think about that? As we continue to talk about individual wellness, I want to talk briefly about the ripple effect. I like the way that sounds because I could just see this going from person to person to person. Because our well being is not an isolated concept, it has a profound impact on the communities we belong to and the world we inhabit. When we take care of ourselves physically, mentally, and emotionally, we become more energetic, engaged, and resilient members of society. This in turn inspires us to prioritize their self-care, creating the ripple effect. The ripple effect of well-being that benefits everyone. By nurturing our own well-being, we empower ourselves to become active agents of positive change, contributing again to a healthier and more sustainable future for all. So, sustainable self-care strategies. This is about incorporating practices that nurture our well-being while minimizing our environmental impact. Mindfulness practices like meditation and yoga can significantly reduce stress and enhance self awareness. Prioritizing healthy habits like nutritious foods, regular exercise, and adequate sleep lays the foundation for a strong physical and mental well-being. Immersing ourselves in nature, whether spending time outdoors, gardening, or engaging in eco-friendly activities like composting, fosters a sense of connection with the planet and reduces stress. How many of you all like to spend time outside in nature? I know I do. I love to breathe in the air. It allows me to reduce stress. Finally, cultivating strong and supportive relationships provides emotional support and a sense of belonging. These are all crucial for our overall well-being.
Okay, so now we're going to look at our second reflection. How can you leverage technology to improve your self care routine and make it more eco friendly? Are there any specific apps, devices, or products that can help you integrate sustainability into your daily practices? We're going to take about 15 seconds to think about this.
Hmm.
Leveraging technology to improve self care routine can make it more eco friendly and can be achieved through several different approaches. For example, apps and devices. I'm sure we've all heard of those fitness wellness apps like Nike Training Club or Common Headspace. Those are some great apps. The Nike Training is wonderful for your gym travel, looking at how you can work out at home, taking care of your physical need without actually traveling to a gym, which reduces your carbon footprint. And then you have Headspace and Calm, which are also meditation apps that can calm you and give you guided sessions to improve your overall mental health. What about sustainable shopping? Have you thought about that? Apps like Think Dirty, good on you. Think Dirty is an app that scans products, barcodes to provide information about ingredients. It helps you choose eco friendly and non toxic personal care products. Good on You rates fashion brands and their sustainability practices, enabling you to make informed decisions about purchases. What about smart home devices? I'm sure you've heard of things like Nest and Ecobee, which are great for home regulation. I love, love, love my smart thermostat because I can control it from anywhere, even my bed. Doesn't get any better than that, right? Smart plugs and lights allows you to control energy usage in your home. You can automatically turn off the lights to conserve power. How wonderful is that? And what about health monitoring devices like Fitbit and Apple Watches? I love, love, love my Fitbit because it told me how poorly I actually slept, which made me improve my overall self-care routine through sleeping because I was able to monitor how much sleep I was getting, also how the quality of the sleep I was getting. So those apps can be really, really beneficial to your overall physical and mental health. What about eco-friendly transport apps like Google Maps and City Mappers have had? Google Maps is really my friend for getting around serious traffic issues, right? And lastly, what about sustainable food choices like Too Good to Go, which helps reduce food waste by offering surplus food from restaurants and stores at discounted prices. And Happy Cow, find vegan and vegetarian dining options nearby, promoting a diet that often has a lower environmental impact. So, by incorporating these technologies and apps into your self care routine, you can enhance your overall well being while also contributing to environmental sustainability. This dual approach ensures that you're making both yourself a concern as well as the overall planet.
On this slide, you'll see a list of resources for self-care and mental health. Specifically, I want to point out Headspace that was mentioned earlier. So you can see we are kind of attached to this app, but it's an evidence-based meditation and mindfulness tool that includes mental health coaching and therapy. Headspace helps you create life-changing habits to support your mental health and find a healthier, happier you. If you get an opportunity, please go check it out at www.headspace.com.
So, building resilience. These activities bring together people to work toward a common goal, promoting health, physical health, and environmental well-being. They provide opportunities for physical activity, social interaction, and community engagement. Collaborative products can enhance our sense of community and shared responsibility. They help in creating sustainable practices that benefit both individuals and the community at large. Working together helps build stronger, more connected communities. It fosters a sense of shared purpose and mutual support, making communities more resilient in the face of challenges. Now for our third reflection. In what ways can your community or social network support and promote sustainable self-care practices? Are there any local initiatives you can join or start to encourage a collective effort towards a healthier future? I'll give you about 15 seconds. I like this reflection. It's very interesting because it takes some time to think about what's already out there, right? And then how you can impact these initiatives by creating others. So, by leveraging the power of community and social networks, we can amplify the impact of sustainable self care practices, creating a healthier, more connected, and environmentally conscious society. So, what about organized group activities? Community yoga classes, perfect example. Have you ever seen yoga in the park? Love it. Group walks or runs. Yeah, I've been trying to get into the group walks. Haven't done that, but I'm looking forward to doing it one day. What about educational workshops, like organizing workshops to educate community members about sustainable living practices, such as composting, recycling, or eco-friendly product use? And one of my favorites, healthy cooking classes. This way we can prepare healthy plant-based meals using local and organic ingredients, which can promote both personal health and environmental sustainability. What about community gardens or environmental clubs that can work towards conservation efforts? Resource sharing, like tool libraries, where you can set up a tool library where community members can borrow tools and equipment, which reduces the need of individual purchases and promotes resource sharing. Carpooling, ride share groups. That way we can reduce our carbon footprints. Support groups, like mental health support groups. Check out your local NAMI. They're a great organization if you're experiencing difficulty with mental health and you know others who are experiencing difficulty with mental health. What about sustainable events like an eco-friendly market and fair, clothing swaps, or repair cafes? There are so many possibilities. Local initiatives that you can join or start could be like a local environmental group or health and wellness clubs, or start a new initiative like a sustainability task force. I know, self-care challenge. I've done that before. That's really great where people are actually being intentional about self-care. And what about just take it back to good old days when we did community cleanups, where we go to local parks or beaches or to different community areas and we clean up the environment where we get physical exercise and community bonding. So, according to the World Health Organization, self care is the capability of families, um, individuals, and communities to promote and sustain their health, prevent disease, and cope with medical conditions. Like I said before, with or without healthcare workers. So, it's important to prioritize self care as a foundation for a sustainable future. By taking care of ourselves, we are better equipped to address the challenges of the world around us. So make time for yourself to regularly connect with your center, find balance, and pause. It can be a 5-minute walk at your lunch break or just taking time for you out looking at nature. I love just spending time watching the birds, right? So we have a downloadable resource for you that you can download that would be great for you to look at your eco-friendly self-care plan and to implement some of these activities and initiatives that we've discussed. Here are references. And if you have any questions and comments, please feel free to contact us. Here's our direct information. Any last words, Dr. Crawford?
No, I think that you all will be able to access the downloadable inside this Zoom recording. So I'm going to make sure that we drop it in this recording for you, and you can find it by going to the chat option. We will also make sure that you receive it with any other conference materials.
Thank you so much. Well, thank you all so much for your time. We appreciate you taking the time to looking at self-care and our global impact. Thank you.
Thank you.